Hello there, and welcome back to those of you that joined us in our 2 streams building Jaxxon, this giant figure, not the little minifigure hidden inside, live on the channel, and also the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer that dropped. So that video's out. I edited that down from the stream, but I thought rather than just clipping up the stream, we'll take a look at the actual character here, the details I've added, parts I've changed from the other minifigures, and some parts I've left out, as well as talking about the elephant in the room that is in fact not Jaxxon, but Bugs Bunny in a Jaxxon outfit, and why I haven't changed that colour to green. And perhaps eventually getting around to building Grogu out of actual Lego bricks, because we did cheat and 3D printed the head for that one. They're videos that are up on the channel if you want to check them out. And we'll keep Rex here for just a second, but first off, why I haven't recolored Bugs Bunny into green for Jaxxon, and it comes down to sand green not being as common as I would like. A few of these elements do not exist in sand green and are quite hard to get your hands on in light bluish grey, let alone sand green. And some of the elements, I think making this whole thing sand green might not look as cool as Bugs Bunny. We're used to seeing Bugs Bunny more than we are Jaxxon, so if Grogu had his ears on top of his head, I feel like it would look a bit like that, and no one wants to see that. So we have Bugs Bunny in a Jaxxon costume. Take a look, 360 of that head. I'm really impressed with how we've got both the sides and the back of the head to look as close as we can to the Bugs Bunny minifigure, which is currently headless. Like I say, we have a minifigure purist minifigure, which just means it's built using all Lego elements, because I tend to 3D print and paint, especially for custom minifigures like Jaxxon, their own elements, which I might very well do in the far off future. But that minifigure is hidden inside the buildable character, whereas usually with Rex here, by the way, I think it's really cool that you can still break these down into their 3 main components. But for Rex here, you can see that there is a lot of Technic and different plates, bricks right in the middle there. The whole torso is filled with Technic, just supporting the arms and the sides of the body. And it's the exact same design that we've used for Jaxxon here. However, we've got rid of some of the unnecessary pieces. All right, Rex will be back later. And because we've got rid of the unnecessary pieces, they might improve the integrity of the model. If I drop this, it might break a few more times than the Lego one, but it's going to be on display, so we're not dropping this anytime soon. And if I remove the back of Jaxxon, not only do you see the classic Master Mouldie signature, the green brick on a Lego model, but also the Jaxxon minifigure perched very comfortably inside the torso. In fact, from the connection point of the arms, we don't have any other Technic or bricks going throughout the rest of the torso, so it very much is like a real Lego minifigure, which I might go back and change that about Rex, but I feel like if I ever break down Rex, it'll be to part out to build the next one. Stay tuned till right at the very end, the last second of this video, and at some point minutes before that, you'll hear about the next minifigure I will be upscaling and the larger project that it's attached to. But finding Jaxxon's back and putting that back on, you'll notice the front doesn't have any sort of sticker or decal or any printing like we see with the Lego Santa Claus. That is brick built. The design from the neck all the way down to the white boots, which is a really nice touch. The Santa Claus is similar to the base model of this. White gloves, red torso and arms, red legs, but black boots. So it's fairly straightforward if you want to try and build this yourself. And I've gone ahead and added some extra pieces to the front of this character. We've got Jaxxon's orange Karma, it looks like, and some snot bricks going along the hip here with exposed studs just at the bottom, which allow us to cover up one of the pieces that isn't very common in red that I don't have in my collection, or perhaps I do, it's used elsewhere, and then add some more details on the hip that the original Lego models, any of the upscaled characters, don't seem to have. I was also going to steal the belt from Santa Claus, changed my mind on that and decided more snot bricks was the answer, as with the entire torso, which is decorated on top of a red base. So we've still got the nice red backdrop when we open up and take a peek inside. Well, until we get to the 2 little snot bricks that Lego haven't quite made in red yet. But the arms aren't printed or designed to look like they're printed arms in any way. Jaxxon has some grey tops to the arms, and I really liked the element that Lego had on the arms. In fact, we've gone with a bigger one here to get rid of 2 slopes, just to round it off that much more into the lower arm, which again is modified just at the elbow joint to make it seem a bit smoother. We could have recolored the sides and the top to be grey, but I feel like without that top half, which Lego don't make this element in 2 pieces, it's only the one of them that exists. So I made the ultimate decision to get rid of the grey, completely wipe it off the figure. And much like leg printing, I don't think arm printing gives all too much, though the leg printing, the leg slopes here actually do a lot of work for the character. I think we could have even lessened the torso and just had the belt on the front, maybe the grey, got rid of the yellow in here, and because of the legs, the attention's drawn away from a lot of everything else. I don't know if I will ever change the Bugs Bunny head to green, because the next project I'd like to work on involves Grogu. Probably not Rex or the Battle Droid, though you never really know. It's nice that they have had a pair. I'll have to build someone for Jaxxon to go next to, and I'm thinking it's definitely going to be one of the droids from Rebuild the Galaxy. After all, I wanted to get Viper inside with Jaxxon, but that Bugs Bunny head was just too big. The next project I want to work on is upscaling the Mandalorian. I recently got the Lego Star Wars magazine that came with the updated Din Djarin, which is rumoured to be changing next year. We spoke a bit about it on the stream, but I don't really think it is going to. I think we're going to get the same minifigure, and here I have my Boba Fett helmet modified quite heavily to match up to the Jango Fett one. There's a video on it, but it does use some illegal techniques in the front. So I want to build the Mandalorian Din Djarin helmet, make sure that that doesn't use any illegal techniques, because these Mando helmets all look completely identical to me without having gone through any of the instructions and modified it myself. But building Mando's helmet will then lead to building Mando's body and legs. And in January, we're rumoured to be getting a £9 set with like probably 60, 70, 80 pieces that I would love to upscale for Mando and Grogu to be riding. And I think that's probably going to take us through to May, especially if it ends up being any bigger. We are not upscaling a 80/80 playset just yet. But that brings us into our final issue with Jaxxon, and that is where I'm going to display them. Because Rex, Grogu, Boba, the Stormtrooper, and R2 are on that shelf there with my Clone Trooper helmet. There's no space for Jaxxon. So when we built the Battle Droid, we had to put them right up here. Maybe we will break down Jaxxon in just a few weeks' time to build the Santa Claus with black boots and get a... Maybe we can just add a Santa hat on top of those ears. Let me know what you think we should do with Jaxxon going forward, or any other red characters you might like to see us build in the near future. I'm trying to think of any that would relate to Mando. I'll also leave both the streams in the description if you do have time and want to go back. It was about a five something hour build in total. Well worth the time, lots of fun, and a ton of conversation about both Lego and Star Wars. Go check it out. Until next time, may the bricks be with you always.